Wee, actual Touhou time now. Yippee! So Mahjong friendly. Listen, sometimes you gotta get on the grind. Sometimes it's Touhou, sometimes it's Mahjong. Hello, Cushy. Thank you for the flashbang. Dude, I hate it. Dude, Discord is such a great top tier service of Grace Company on demand. Okay, so we may have been up a wee. Oh, why am I over there? Okay, we do a little bit. Right. I may have been up a wee bit late last night because sometimes cutscenes last for a long time. Who'da thunk? So any and everything today I'll blame on sleepiness and blame the fact I'm tired like usual. Gotta have an excuse for everything. I really was expecting him to disappear half a second earlier. Let's get a warm-up. Hey, 2.0. Huge value. Look at that pretty rainbow. Look at this ugly cat. Just kidding, the cat's very pretty. It's just she's a boy. I love the suits. You cat bastard. Oh my goodness, I'm in the— What?! First of all, I was in the bubble. Second of all, how did— Hitboxes. She's got hands, and unfortunately she sure does. The final give— Yeah, the final's very bumper crop like. You give it, and it taketh away. Oops, that was not the wisest of me. Although it's very different than Bumper Crop in kind of its regards, in my opinion. The end result kind of is the same, but how it gets there feels different. The good thing about Mickey's Final is that I feel like it has more player agency than Bumper Crop. Oh. So that, like, it'll reward me for getting better. That's not gonna get me 2.0s now. But I don't want to be rewarded for getting better. I want to be rewarded now. I don't want to get better and then get the LNN. I want the LNN right now. Nah, if I get the LNN right now, it wouldn't have as much meaning. We're in it for the long haul and the long hole. Don't ask what that one means. Oops, nice frame loss. Game's broken. 60.1 FPS for there for a second. You can see that. I'm actually cheating. Yep, 60.1 FPS. Bro's... Oh, again? Bro's got the FPS switch under his desk. He's just fiddling with it, trying to... I'll try to hack the RNG. I'm not good at hacking the RNG, though. And by that, hacking the RNG, I mean I literally just walked into a single bullet all by its lonesome. Listen, I'll still say we're in the warm-up phase still. And 3 random Touhou girls. Go Kokoro. Let's go Raiko. And Sanyo, all O's. Okay, this time for sure. Literally free? No one's ever died to it? Some slight mistakes there, but, you know. Even Picasso made mistakes. Okay, the quest time out or time down. Kane. Okay, she's edged. Edge her like slightly more. Oh, excuse me. Oh, she's so edged, bro. Holy moly. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that's such good edging. I mean, on is technically 2, right? Like you said on and Kagero for pick 3M Touhous, but like you can make 2. We need a snake who. Do we not have one? We have lizards. Well, Yachi's like a tortoise dragon thing. It's like the closest we got, right? There isn't any snake. I mean, you could call Seija a snake. Or Sega. I guess either of them are snakes if you think about it in the, you know, the other definition. Okay, this would go up earlier, but, you know, we had improvise, adapt, and overcome. Hello, Fami. Thanks for just, like, not coming my direction. Alright, the after overcomes for 2025. Fucking we ball this bitch. Dude, fucking we ball has been, it's like so 2024. What are you talking about? Whoa! Oh, I really thought it was far enough to the right. It's Jover. It's Conic over. I'll blame you. You distracted me. That's what happened. It's unbelievable. It's back. Or it would actually be it's with an apostrophe because it would be it is back. So, grammar. You gotta learn your spell. Up. Gotta learn your spelling properly. Oh, I backed up into 1, 2 inches left. She also has no HP. Besides doing all the crazy IC berries or stuff, so you think you could play the equivalent of hospital food. What's the Touhou equivalent of hospital food? Edging Sanyo? No, she's edging me. It's even worse. Born to Goon, forced to edge. Hate it. Right back doing hard stuff. I mean, sometimes you gotta do things in moderation. Absolutely. you like come over here? Oop! This spell card's evil. Is what I have determined. Girl, you can, like, go up, like, a little bit. Like, a little bit? Oh, I don't want that angle. Neat. And I Okay, I've changed my mind. I'm back to non-1 is the worst attack. I constantly cycle on Sanyo. It's non-1 is the worst attack, then it's spell 1's the worst attack, then it's non-2. It's an endless cycle, a repeating cycle. My toes with that one. If you 1 year old, you install an input delay mod. What's an input delay mod? What, it just delays all my inputs by like a second or two? Oh man, that single one. I want to do that single one. I want. Now that I think about it, I wonder if it's better just to like not to do that. I love you, Sanyo. Mwah. Look hard enough for an LNN if the lag would really all make it more difficult. Definitely what I need right now. I don't have to go quite as fast. Like, there's that first bullet you gotta watch out for. Yeah, I think as long as I'm aware of that, that's fine. Make dodging some attacks easier. What attacks? Here, since I don't want to set precedents, you know, for people giving me money for things, I'll tell you what I will do for €1. 11. If somebody donates €1, the things I'm willing to do is to say thanks for the €1 donation, and then that would be it. That you with input lag, is that how it works? But if you just don't input it in time. I love you. Oftentimes, the best thing to do is just to be patient and let the bullets go all around you. I love 2/3 movement. I love 2/3 movement. Ik have pain. Those Kumo Magusas, those Kumers. Yeah, speaking of old terms, Coomer is such a 2024 term, isn't it? The future is now. We're in the era of the 6-7. Yeah, probably not for much longer. They'll get something new coming up soon. Oh man, I actually could have got through that one too, even though she was kind of low. Oh, I can't expect perfection. Wow. Boy, hard panic there. Heart attack panic. Single character in this game's popular. Tsukasa? Hello? Have you seen the porn? Also, what are you defining as popular? The top 10 most popular Touhou characters are the only popular characters? Is that the definition we're gonna go by? Voted solely off of the popularity contest too, and no other contest? I love chicken butt. Ooh, I backed into the bullet. Extra LNNs, right? Totally. That's how it works. Ow. It's falling apart at the seams. It's too much for me. The weight of Sanyo is bearing down on me. She's gonna break my pelvis any minute now. Kasa's only horny bait, but after the post of clarity, people forget. I like my attacks that don't make me feel uncomfortable. Characters that appeared in a fighter game are popular. Dude, Iku, well-known, super popular character. %, fan. Hey, Fami's here. He's one of them. And Sumereko must be really popular then, too. I can't believe I went for that. I can't believe it worked. Oh, where are these people? I'd have to capitalize the whole sentence. Was it the title of a book? Or a movie? Who are these people starring Chris Pratt? Who are these people? Me, whenever my friend tells me about the random YouTuber or Twitch or like Twitch streamer drama you heard about the other day. I'm like, literally, who are these people? I've never heard of any of them. Drat. The movie starring Jack Black as Oku. No, I thought it was the Touhou movie starring Jack Black as Yuko. I've seen the meme of that one. Angelina Jolie. Rainbow? I think the last thing we need is a Hollywood Touhou movie. You know what? Maybe... No. Don't even pretend for a second. You haven't? I would put it on screen. Because I know I have the image saved somewhere, but the problem is I have it saved from like a year ago or something. And it would take me a while to look for it, unfortunately. It came out 9 years ago? That's crazy, dude. That was so old. The next step of that non is to figure out the exact angles that you want to cut to the left and right based on height, like how high she is. But that's a lot of work. That's a slow grasp to figure out. I love being uncomfortable. I did it! That was me. Synopsis is so cringery, but you can't play feed cells because that was the point. Or having digital types make it look like shitty bag feed. Beautiful. I'll say I'm very happy. See, this is the Touhou thing. What happens in every LNN grind? It's a constant cycle of depression for a week because you feel like nothing matters, everything's terrible, like you're just forever cursed. The game sucks, like nothing good will ever happen. The run's terrible, and then you'll have a week of just positivity where you're like, we're so back, and you feel over the moon, and you're just constantly like dancing between the two. I'm very happy with how much Sanyo progress I've made in the last week. Well, last half a week, probably. It's been making me very, very optimistic towards this game right now. And then, next week I'll go back into, depression mode. It'll all be terrible and everything will suck. And then I'll do something good, and then I'll be so back. But that is a hard thing, specifically with an LNN, is the lack of visible progress at times. Can be a real drag, and you really have to understand. You really have to be able to handle the slow paces, even if it's painful at times, and understand progress even when there's not visible progress. I love 2/3 movement. Okay, that was alright. But the thing is, I'm not upset whenever I die to the final. Like, okay, I'm like slightly, I'll kick myself a little bit. But if I die to the final, but it's the first half of the fight. That's like the biggest problem sector and the things I've been the most. Ooh, okay, that was. I think there are gaps. I mean, it's the byproduct of just you slowly get better, even if it's hard to see. And sometimes that progress is it's Oh boy, your rate at something goes from 10% to 15%. And it's honestly can be hard to notice that, but you do that enough, and then suddenly you're up to 30%. It's like, whoa, this is a jump. I'm not too worried. It's easy from the outside, though, definitely to look because of the lack of this game being very not run friendly. Of a lack of progress in that front, but because this attack I'm getting happier with, like, actually be able to read it a lot better. This attack I'm happier understanding the higher bait is a good idea. First on, just playing more defensive. Now, in turn, I've started becoming more frustrated by this attack, but that's probably just because I'm, like, doing this attack a lot more. Why am I going to the side? This is not an attack you want to bait. I am not the master at baiting. I hate to break it to y'all. Learning the spacing on these lasers is important. Of, like, how far you can move at once. I'm still not the most comfortable with it. He listed everything except Peerless with God. 90+% on Momiji sounds like an interesting individual. You really show me I could be so positive with that with they'd be better, they're still impossible. Mummy free, well known to be free. Ooh! So not every line's great, though. There's still progress to be made. Aggression. What did I say about being aggressive? It depends on who you are. Some people will take 60% on any attack and be like, damn, that's fucking good. Like, a lot of it. Like, there's a lot of attacks people can be really happy about 60% over. And there are some people that just... I put myself into that camp. Some people will take 60% and be like, ah, it's fucking cooked. And some of it's attack dependent, but a lot of it's person dependent. Too. And current mood dependent. That's a big one. That's a big one. Oh, I thought that would blind up. Oh, the game dropped in FPS slightly there. Practice is invalid. Take away all my a lot of my credentials. I'm a cheat. I'm a fraud. You see, it's at 50. It's 60.1 FPS. I can't even keep stack. Okay, I gotta take a break on this. spent too much time on it. My brain's starting to malfunction. Chicken Boat, what's your opinion on UNR versus Petaflare, out of curiosity? I don't know if I've had this conversation with you, and I want to ask your opinion on it. Yeah. UNR's way hard, but both are the hardest attacks in SA. I don't know if I'd say they're the hardest. I'd say they're 2 and 3 personally, but I think they're fine after certain point. Yeah, but I think UNR and Petaflare are fine after certain points. Smiley face. Regardless, I put those 3 as the top 3. But because here's the thing, I'm of the mind that UNR is harder than Petaflare. And I really find the UNR versus Petaflare dynamic very interesting. I got lucky more. Well, I still will put Catswalk as 1 due to the nature of Catswalk. Actually, obviously Fog Labyrinth is the hardest attack in the game, so... Right next to Yamame non-1. Like everyone knows Yamame non-1 is, like, so difficult. They don't even bother talking about Yamame non-1 because everyone just, like, understands just how disgusting. But the Petaflare versus UNR is, like, one of the very, very few, like, attacks that Alan and I disagree on. Guess it depends too. No, there's no depending. There's no depending. Nuance doesn't exist. There's a 100% right and a 100% wrong answer, and there's never context involved. Okay, it's just like when you play a strategy game. Oh, what's the right play here? Well, it varies depending on the situation. You ever play a fucking roguelike? Oh, what's the best thing here? Well, it probably depends depending on the situation. Crazy, huh? Context matters. No, it doesn't at all. There's always a right and always a wrong answer. But I have always been of the mind that I believe that UNR is harder than Petaflare. And my record, like, reflects that a little bit. I don't remember what I ended the game on, but at one point, I was like 400 out of 1100 on UNR, and I was like 500 out of 1100 on Petaflare, so... Be different. Yeah, well, there's just a number of attacks where whatever's added just sometimes isn't that relevant. Like, it's usually, like, relevant a little bit, but, like, that's all, like, you know, whenever you add something, obviously it's going to impact it a little bit, but just some attacks don't add enough to really be significantly different. Can you, like, just die? Holy shit! 32 seconds, bro! What are you doing, Misamaru? Bad line. Always pick the tightest hole. Hold on, 11. I'm sorry, I ignored you for a minute. Oh, you bump up. That was on me. How is longest? That doesn't make word sense. Going on hours on end. People can only go so many hours. I mean, there's... Fami mentioned that one guy who grinded, who was playing LoL K for like 20 hours straight one time. I think it's like there's a lot of variables involved in like the mental tax in Touhou. Like I usually play for about 2 hours, and I can definitely feel my brain like losing juice at times. But I can also play for 3 to 4 hours at times. But 2 hours is a good, in my opinion, point to play. But also different people handle it differently, right? Some people will take a lot more extended breaks as well. I'm not a break believer personally, but that's me and what I do. I think folks different. I mean, everyone perceives things differently, so how you perceive and handle a game is just going to be different. Literally free. I love that attack. That attack's so fun. Also, hello, Scooter. I didn't realize that was you. The pink name threw me off. I thought it was Fanny. I was. It's not two. You gotta remember not to. I'm not saying it's wrong to be pink or anything. I didn't realize that was you at first because I saw the pink name and I thought it was Fanny for a second. He's usually the only one that I see pink, and then I double checked. I was like, wait, that's Scooter. Oh, of course. Hello, Light General. Doing SWAT Koi today? What do you mean by that? Oh, I could have that. Kinda woulda, shoulda, didn't. I'll go back to ripping some more runs in a minute. Why you don't go do some more Sanyos? You know I love to. My body wants to go drink some caffeine since I have some too, but like, I also went like 3 days in a row having like decent amounts of caffeine. I'm trying to not do it again, so I'm like, I'm taking a break. Don't drink caffeine right now. Don't go chugging more energy drinks. I'd like to be below you. Oh, almost. Good read, but the single pink ball of death. Oh, it's so close. Such a fun attack, though. So bad. Why don't you go get yourself? So it's also midnight. That's fair. What are you talking about? You're gonna be up till 6 in the morning anyway. RRs? What do you mean by that? I'm not just gonna RR like just on command. What am I, a maid? 6 hours to wind down for bed. So here's the wind down process to go to bed. First, I have to like dress into my pajamas or whatever nightwear is. Then I have to lay in bed, and then I have to be on my phone for 6 hours watching YouTube or something, and then I can go to bed. Ooh, I followed that yellow ball too much. For nice, you can follow your audiobooks. Can't sleep like it's impossible. I'm not an insomnia haver, so I'm not bad with sleep at all. The worst that happens is, first of all, when I had the stomach flu on Christmas, that was bad, because I went to bed at 11:30, I woke up at 1:30, I never fell back asleep that night, and that day was miserable, because I just couldn't sleep. It was impossible. But that was also partly, I was terribly sick. Outside of that, I mean, there's the occasional time I'll like try to go to bed and I can't fall asleep for like an hour. That's rare. The thing that screws over my sleep the most is not being able to, well, it's sometimes like last night where Fantasy Maid Wars keeps me up till 11 o'clock. But it's for 3 days once. That is regarded as unhealthy, if I'm not mistaken. Usually the biggest issue I have with sleep and stuff is the fact that I'll go to bed at like a good time. I'm like, okay, I went to bed, I'm going to bed. And then, because normally I go to bed about 10:30 and I wake up 6:30 for work, okay? What'll happen is I'll go to bed at 10:30. It'll be great. And then I'll wake up at like 2:30 in the morning. I'll wake up and like, oh, what time is it? I'll look, it's 2:30. I'm like, oh. And sometimes I'll go right back to sleep. But sometimes I'll lay there for an hour before I can go back to sleep. That's about the worst it gets. But I'm not I am not an insomnia fellow, fortunately. Like I said, when I had the stomach flu, couldn't sleep. But like I'm not. I blame more of that on just the sick, being terribly sick, and the fact that half the time I was laying in bed was just me fighting with my stomach not to vomit at every opportunity. Oh. Okay. Did I say unfortunately? I might have said that by accident, but you can probably understand what I meant. Words are hard sometimes, okay? Just slept for 24 hours one time, so it balances out. That's clearly how it works. Caleb starts spotting when you stay up for 3 days straight. Honestly, I think one thing that has helped me a fair bit with going to bed too, as of the past couple of years, is streaming, which is kind of weird to say, I know, but first of all, wow, it's almost been 2 years of me dedicated streaming. That is something, but because the problem I used to have definitely was like the fact that I'd like go to bed, you know, like 10:30 or something, after being like on a computer all day, and then just kind of like I wouldn't be able to sleep for a while. Like it'd be hard for me to like fall asleep at that. Like it would take me half an hour to an hour to fall asleep sometimes, but I think keeping myself busy, even if some of that busy is streaming, which is not like theoretically that taxing, by the time I'm ready to go to bed, like I'll get done streaming, I'll like make dinner, eat, and then I'll just go to bed. And at that point, I'm just tired, and I just kind of go straight to bed. Like, I enjoy streaming, but, like, and like, because Touhou is a taxing thing to do. Yeah, definitely. But even if it's not as intensive as something like work, it's still, like, something I'm doing that keeps me busy, and then I just realize, like, when I go to bed, like, man... nice, because instead of, like, me going to bed and I'm just, like, laying there for an hour and stuff, it's like, eh. It's like, I go to bed and I'm feeling, like, tired. FMW looks cool. I like FMW. It's not my favorite of the Touhou fan game I've ever played, but it's certainly quite good in my opinion. As a broad, gameplay is very solid. Like, I definitely, like, if I'm going through fan games and stuff, like, Devil of Decline, the Labbies, I definitely prefer, but it's still very solid. Like, I'm quite enjoying it. It's no Touhou Soccer, though, that's for sure. You know, as far as the cost cap, the cost cap I don't really mind too much. I like a bit of, like, limitations in team design, and be like, oh, you can kind of like, you can use a lot of what you want, but you have to be like, you're still quite limited. He has his quirks still. Oh yeah, I mean, every game I love, if I were to go down my favorite games of all time, every single game I could point out something that I have a gripe about, but like that's fine. Like, I love every game except PCB, totally. I hate to break it to people, but if I'm ranking my favorite games of all time, there's not a mainline Touhou game that's making at least top 7. Which I know may be weird for how much time I spent playing these mainline games, but I certainly have grown to love Touhou, but it's not my, like, normal genre. It's your favorite? I don't know what I'd say my favorite game of all time is. It kind of varies at times. Oops. Probably Xenoblade 1 or Library of Ruina. If I'm picking my specific favorite game. Like, if I'm trying to pick a single one. If I'm picking my top 7, it's definitely the 4 Xenoblades, Library of Ruina, and the 2 Labbies. Yes, I know Try's out, but, like, I'm not gonna make a I'm not going to make it a strong opinion on try until like I'm, you know, done with the base game at least. I don't want to get ahead of myself. One thing I think we've definitely learned in modern gaming society is don't crown a game before it's out. before it's out and you've completed everything. This is gonna be the greatest game of all time. Drops dog shit. But the thing is, also, it's kind of weird to rank favorite games just because of how much, like... Sometimes I'm just in the mood for something specific, for a game, and I'm like, I don't really want to play this one right now, even though if I consider it, like, top 3 favorite game or something. And sometimes I'm like, I really just want to play this game. Ever get a hoarse voice after streaming? I've never had I'm surprised. I've never really, like, had, like, shot my voice after streaming, but there are times where at the end of the day, my voice is just... My throat is just getting worn. Especially on, like, Saturday. Because, like, I don't talk a lot at work. Like, a lot of my work is me talking to myself, me being by myself and talking to myself. So I don't do a lot of real talking at work. But, like, Friday into Saturday. Because Friday I'll work, then I'll go to my friend's place, then I come home and stream, and I go straight to bed. It's like, there's, like, not much break. And then Saturdays I go straight from streaming to hang out with my friends, and it's just... Especially right now, playing through 100 Line Academy, and I'm doing a lot of... Because, like, it's also because I'm playing FMW here, and Live Try here, and I'm talking, I'm narrating the dialogue here. And then I go hang with my friends, and I'm playing 100 Line Academy, and I'm reading through the dialogue of that, too. And my throat is like, holy moly, bro, what are you doing? You ever get a hoarse voice? No, I'm not an Uma Musume fan, so my throat never goes that far. I don't become a horse. My throat will get to the point where it's like, I need to drink something. That's definitely the biggest thing. Had to play a gacha, what would it be? Russian roulette. Limbus Company? No. Listen, I love Library of Ruina and Limbus Company. Like, I'm not like they do fine on the plot. I like some of the story writing stuff. It's just some of the design choices that they did. Moving to Limbus Companies makes me want to throw people out windows. I've gacha haters never play them. I used to play them, but I haven't played gacha. I have been off of gacha for almost 2 years at this point without having played any. Realize awful responses are though. Yeah. See, I say Russian roulette because that's my joke gacha answer. I could give an honest answer of what gacha I would play if I could play one, but I'm not going to because reasons. Like so many gachas. I used to play them a lot more. I was never a spender really in them at all, but there's a few I used to play a lot. And I eventually worked myself out of them. See, this is why I'm not answering, because some people get strangely possessed when it comes to talking about certain gachas. I hate you so much. I will say I never played Lost Word, and I never will. That is one of the very few ones that even before I like completely swore off gachas like as a whole. That is one I specifically was like, I'm never fucking playing this one. Three votes with multiple games and spent 5 hours on dailies each. I've never played more than one gacha at a time, though. That's for sure. I never did more than one at once. And so there wasn't a ton that I did because the few I did, I generally played for a long period of time. Like, the one I definitely spent the most time in was Age of Ishtaria. To the point where, unfortunately, I was a pretty high-ranking person on in that game. Like a part of some of the top guilds, fighting for a lot of the PvP events. Like some of the top ones, I remember that. Got first place globally in some events. By some, I mean one specifically. I got second place in one once, and I got first. And then literally after I got first place in that event once, I basically stopped playing. Although there was also some other union drama that also happened that helped fade away from that. What's the Touhou is the most like a gacha in terms of bullet patterns? USD. I don't know how close. Like, maybe Lotus Land, you could argue, but the answer is USD. Just died, blue bastard. Play Hypixel Skyline. I pity you. I played that briefly, but I got off of that quickly. And so after I stopped playing Age of Ishtaria, was just right around when the Day of the Live one launched. I played that for good whiles. And then that one faded. And then I kind of like got myself to stop playing that one, which is probably very much for the better. And then not too long after, I completely faded off of gachas. No, I'm not a Hoyoverse player. I played Genshin very briefly, and that's it. I've never touched any other Hoyo game. I never intend to. Hoyoverse? Yeah, you tell him. But I should be careful talking about gachas because there are some that if you get that, like, if you get me going, you'll get me banned from Twitch with some things I'll start saying. The reason I touched Genshin originally was because of its multiplayer aspect, because like I had a friend who was like, ooh, this looks interesting, like before it came out, because of the multiplayer aspect. But then we like never really got too much further into that, so. Should have been an MMORPG. I don't know if that would have been better or worse. Probably better we don't find out. Oh, you really like this HSR? Well, oh, are you talking Honkai Star Rail? Is that what that is? Yeah. You didn't know it was the gacha play for 30 minutes, the gacha just popped up and you logged off. The appropriate response. I know, I stopped playing gachas and it's like, man, I became a happier being. Dude, going from playing a gacha game, like, if you play a gacha game and you play, like, a real game, and you're like, holy shit, the difference is just, it's remarkable. How great it is to play, like, a real video game. Be a hardcore mobile gamer to stop seeing the market go to shit. Yeah. Such is the nature. I would never call myself a hardcore mobile gamer, but I definitely used to play a lot more things on mobile. Nowadays, I play basically nothing. Maybe I'll grab Pokemon Showdown for mobile. That's probably a bad idea as well. Do some Reg F BGC grinding. Come with a bunch of team comps that are all going to be complete dog shit, but they're fun to try to theory craft. Down to only 4 gachas at the moment. Only? See, I always get it. See, because like most people, a lot of people I know are big gacha fans. Some of my closest friends are gacha players. Like I know Uma Musume on 3, 2, 1, 0. Like I know Uma Musume players. To 17 at one point. How do you do that? Did you hear some Pokemon? I did mention Pokemon Showdown. I tried Pokemon Pocket for a time, but I just prefer the regular TCG at that. And like the difference is like I don't love Pocket in that regard. It's not bad, but it's just the last thing you need is something tempting you. Pokemon hype as a kid. Here's what it is. I grew up largely into Pokemon. I don't dabble too much in Pokemon, but like I pay attention to competitive Pokemon, like the actual VGC, and not Smogon, but like the actual VGC. I have for a while. And I've always liked Nuzlocking. Ooh, sometimes you do bad lines. I love doing that. But it'd be too deep and you'll stop playing when it shuts down. Dude, going from playing a gacha game to playing like Labyrinth of Touhou 1 is just such a stark difference of like, holy shit, I'm playing like a real game. Why did I do that line? What is wrong with me? Somebody answer. Is a bad Pokemon insanely cancerous? I mean, it depends on what, like, you determining that by. Yeah. Well, casual Pokemon is like casual Pokemon's meant to be played when you're younger. Like that's just the thing about it. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, you know, when I played Fire Red when I was 7, loved it. Peak. Like I grew up with a lot of that stuff. It's a lot harder to get back into now. Like if I do that stuff, it's hardcore Nuzlocke effective completely. I said I like competitive Pokemon, but I also I do not touch Smogon. Well, like not much. Like I respect Smogon, but I'm not a Smogon player, that's for sure. Like the actual like competitive scene, I've quite enjoyed. Like ever since like Sun and Moon, I've paid a decent amount of attention to it. Competitive Pokemon's weird to me too because it's one of those things where I'll still sit there and say that the fact that it actually works as good as it does feels so accidental, but it actually flows so well. But it feels like it just like happened to get to that point where like it actually like plays competitively quite well. No, you cannot hack your mons for official tournaments. However, it is you cocksucker. But in modern Pokemon, especially Scarlet Violet, it is significant. Like you still need to go out of your way. But if you have a completed save file of Scarlet and Violet, and you want to make like one good team, it's you don't have to spend a ton of time. It's significantly better than it used to be. Where it was like you spend like 5 months trying to grind for a perfect team, or you hack your team back in like Black and White. But nowadays it's a lot. There's been so many things that they've added to make it a lot better to do. I'm interested to see what Champions is going to do when it comes out. I'm a little concerned, but I'm interested to see what Champions is going to throw in because they've announced that that like Worlds 2026, I believe, is going to be played on Champions. And they're hoping to, I believe, move the competitive side to that. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do to it. Nice 2.0, by the way. Or how it's gonna be. I've always wanted to go to the Pokemon tournament. Unfortunately, I live very far away from, like, real places, so they're all far from me. Maybe I'll go to one of the Milwaukee regionals eventually, though, just for fun. The meta where every top player runs the same team? Not exactly. Especially not in modern Pokemon. Like the most infamous thing is the Big Six from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire days. The wonderful Big Six team comp, which is the most effectively dominant team comp in competitive Pokemon history. But A, even then there was a lot of variations in the strat itself, and B, it didn't even have an over 50% play rate, and especially as time has gone on, the field has gotten so much more diverse, especially in Scarlet and Violet, I feel. Feels like great. I always watch the regionals. Well, as long as I'm not like streaming or something. But I'll go back like Sunday when I'm editing my thumbnails and stuff for the VODs I put up on YouTube afterwards. And if there's a regional like going on that weekend or an international, I'll put that up. I paid a fair bit of attention since the Sun and Moon era, but since late Sword and Shield, I started paying attention a lot. Boy, I found it really fun to watch. Although it kind of can depend on the casters at times, but as a whole. I think team building in competitive Pokemon is one of the coolest things in any competitive game I've ever seen. Especially once you know the depth. We're winning this run. I'm glad you believe, Game Butcher, because I don't. I'm glad you believe. Yeah, there was like 4 people talk over each other. There's some good people. Although I don't pop up Touhou stuff too often. Maybe that's because I dabble it all the time. I might not believe her game is easy. Yeah, it's super easy. Sanyo is well known for being like the second easiest stage 3 boss of all time. GGT, right then, holy insane phase after finishing stage 1. But sometimes you gotta hype yourself up. I understand. Up edging de Takane. Three, 2, 1. I got killed early. I dropped myself too low. Fine, second too early is more than manageable. To be honest, I can do 13 seconds. Like, that's fine. It's annoying, but I can do it. Which he does agree because he spent ages making something interesting, realize it's weak to Raging Bull and have to scrap it exactly. You come up with something, you're like, dude, this is so good, and then you come across Ursaluna and Trick Room, you just get fucking destroyed. You beat 6 wild defense with counter mirror coach. Some say it's impossible to do that. In fact, it's so impossible that they have a rule that Pokemon has a rule you can't use like the same Pokemon twice. I complete panic. Damn, big round spam switch out moves. Yeah, but like, have you ever thought about like understanding the fact that switch out moves aren't like the most broken thing, and you like get around that? You can work around switch out moves, especially in singles. If Puppet Dance had a VGC format, I would absolutely, positively play the fucking shit out of it. But they don't, unfortunately. It's just Smogon formats, and not that I hate Smogon, but like I'm not a VGC, the competitive format they use. Doubles, 6 Pokemon, pick 4. Bring 4 to any given battle. What is Smogon? It's the unofficial format for singles. Because competitive Pokemon, because official competitive Pokemon is doubles. Okay, it's double battles. Right, 2v2, two Pokemon on the field at a time. But, you know, there's a whole single format, although it's not official. It's fan run, and it's called Smogon. So that's for singles. Let's call it this Pokemon. What Pokemon? What Pokemon is named Smogon? There's Shelgon. TPDP would be beyond broken, alas. That's not true. That's definitely not true. It's a higher power level, but there's more defensive play. Like it's how regular like it would turn into how regular is. Like, regular Pokemon is filled with insanely strong Pokemon that often, you know, can rely on one-shots. You see this in Smogon all the time. But Doubles has... Doubles, not... First of all, it speeds up the game, but it also enables so much more defensive play. Especially if you... Because, to be fair, if you add VGC into something like Puppet Dance, then you do have to add in a handful of the Doubles special moves that regular Pokemon has to help for VGC play. But I don't see what aspect of Puppet Doubles is innately somehow more broken than regular Pokemon. Like, you don't have... Like, even regular Pokemon, even something as broken as Miraidon in the restricted formats is still kept in check. And Miraidon's far more broken than anything in Puppet Dance could be by a large margin. It's not even close. Maybe not even close to pushing it, but like... Like, regular Pokemon, especially in restricted formats, has definitely even stronger things in play. And it's still kept in check because of the innate supporting nature of Doubles to keep strong play like that in check. Oh, what is this? Is that the German name of Coffin? Smogon? Huh, that's funny. It evolves into Smogmog. Dude, fucking Smogmog is a top tier name. Holy shit. That's based. Ready to make top 4 at Worlds clearly trash? Well, ignore when it won the previous year at Worlds. You know Japanese Mandibuzz? I don't. But that's one thing I love of is like something happens like that Miraidon team became like the end all be all in competitive Pokemon for a little. Like people was like, oh, this is the best team, and people just because our team building is you can get around it. People made teams to beat it, and then the formats changed. In 2024, Koraidon was regarded as complete mid. Completely mid. And then 2025 Worlds Grand Finals is Koraidon versus Koraidon. Love that. The Koraidon glow up. Oh, Koraidon in Calyx Shadow versus Koraidon in Galva, but... Yes, Ditto is relevant in competitive, specifically in in the single restricted Pokemon formats. This was used for 2024 Worlds and the couple tournaments prior, and also for the first like 3 months of 2025 in the single restricted format. Ditto probably saw 5 to 10% play, probably about 5% of teams I would say use Ditto. It's not like super popular, but it definitely is there. Well, so modern Ditto 11 has in Generation 5, Ditto got the hidden ability Imposter, which turned him into Among Us. What Imposter does, it means when he switches in, he automatically transforms into the copy across from him. It's really niche, and there's only certain teams that are even willing to use Ditto, so it's not that common, but in restricted formats, which has the super strong legendaries, but you're only allowed 1 or 2 copies of them on a team, people will sometimes run Ditto to effectively give yourself an additional copy. That's kind of the most basic version to talk about. There's more complex natures in how he works. It's not that popular, but in Especially in the single restricted, in the double restricted format, not as much. The single one, like I said, it's all a bit of play. Like, you'd watch, like, some of the majors, like regionals or internationals. Probably Worlds, too, although I don't recall seeing any. There probably was some people who brought... There'd be people who brought Ditto, like, legitimately. Not a common thing, but it's... You see it around. How does Ditto work with regional gimmicks like Megas? I don't know for sure. I know it doesn't copy a Dynamax. I know it doesn't copy Dynamax Pokemon. It does not copy terrestrialized Terrapagos. I don't think it copies Terrapagos at all. It doesn't copy a terrestrialized Pokemon's Terra, but it does copy the Pokemon, I believe. I think it copies Mega Evolutions, but I'm not sure. I think if you switch it in the Pokemon's Mega, it will like the Ditto will transform into Mega. I don't know for sure off the top of my head. You don't see Ditto that much. Like I said, it sees a little bit of play, but it's not that common. Yes, two in-players swap. The one that goes first is based on the speed of the Pokemon that's out. So if I have Mewtwo out and you have Weedle out, and I switch and you switch, Mewtwo will switch before Weedle, because it's faster. So it switches first. Double Mega Rayquaza. Good thing Mega Rayquaza is not even the strongest Mega. It was only the 4th strongest restricted Pokemon back when it was out. Like, and this is the thing about like singles versus doubles. Singles, Mega Rayquaza was the first Pokemon ever banned to Anything Goes because it was regarded as so beyond broken in singles. But in doubles, it was not even top 3 restricted Pokemon. Like, it was good, don't get me wrong, but like, it was definitely a notch below Xerneas and Primal Groudon. I'm a Ho-Oh believer, by the way. Seeing Ho-Oh in a couple of the recent regionals. There was a Ho-Oh that made top cut at Worlds. That was the coolest thing ever. Yeah. So Ditto, again, not super common, but Ditto sees play occasionally. Son of a bitch! Yes, there are... Pokemon often switches its formats around. So when a game comes out, usually the first format is no legendaries at all. Currently in this format, there's no Paradox Pokemon, nothing. Just very, very base form, normal Pokemon. Then they usually like add in, okay, here are the non-restricted legendaries. Okay, now we're adding the restricted legendaries. And then this time in Scarlet and Violet, they've actually danced around where they went from nothing to Paradox Pokemon to Paradox and legendaries to Paradox legendaries and a single restricted to then going back to nothing, like only normal Pokemon, no legendaries, no Paradox, no restricted, and then to a 2 restricted format, and then they went back to the nothing format, and then they're going to just legendary and Paradox, no restricteds. They often change every handful of months. Well, they'll go several months in a format, and then they'll switch to it like a new list where some other Pokemon get banned or unbanned. That's what Paradox Pokemon is. It's a unique thing to Scarlet and Violet. They added in the past Paradox and future Paradox Pokemon. It's a plot thing. You don't need to worry too much about it. They're Pokemon that are like they're arguably a notch below just a notch below legendaries in terms of stats. They're lumped into the legendaries with rule sets, usually. Bring the Rayquaza. Rayquaza's not even the top tier legendary, unfortunately. In the restricted formats where he's allowed, he sees less than 1% play, tragically. Love him, but he's just not relevant right now. Hasn't been for a while. Maybe he gets his Mega back, though. Ariados is the most base Pokemon ever conceived. I guess I haven't heard that opinion before, but it's a cool one to see. What was the sentence I read the other day? I asked my sister if the clothes were washed, and she just said iron boulder. And then I knew the clothes were washed. Like, although there's a few more additional reasons for it, but like, in the formats with the strongest legendaries, Incineroar sees more play than any single legendary, except Urshifu. But even then, depends on the tournament. I thought Iron Boulder was ever good in the first place. People thought it might be good. Look at it! Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good! And then it was washed. Tried using it once, immediately gave up. I never tried using it once. I usually go for worse Pokemon and try to build around them. They'd be like, why is my team that good? This is crazy. Why is Cleavor not working? This is unbelievable. Oops. I wish I was super rich. So I could pay a bunch of people to, so I could pay people a bunch of money. It'd be like mod Puppet Dance to make it a Lapper 2v2, and then put big money on tournaments. I need to be rich. Guys, I need you guys to start giving me money so I can afford this dream someday. I'm a very selfless being. I need you guys to give me a bunch of money so I can do this. Give you 1 money if you play ISC. I've already played ISC though. I still can't get over that fucking wheezing in German is smogmog. I'm the washed one who's washed. Strange they localized for 8 languages, yeah. Actually, one thing that's also interesting about it, because in modern competitive Pokemon, if you play online versus someone, which you connect with someone and play like competitive battles, when you send out a Pokemon on their screen, it comes up as like the Pokemon's name, but it comes up in the language of whatever it was caught as. So if you send out a Rillaboom, if you're German, you catch a Rillaboom, it's Gortron. If you send it out on other people's games, it'll come up as Gortron. If you catch a Pokemon Japanese and then send it out, like even online, it's gonna come, like its name is gonna come up in kanji. Players not put nicknames. You can put nicknames, but they won't come up online. Because although they do censor things, they don't want people, you know, putting IE ass and it's the Pokemon's name and then sending out in a competitive battle, right? Especially in games with, you know, Pokemon, you know, is at its core kids game. You don't want, you know, I'm gonna go play online. I'm gonna go battle some trainers online with my team I just beat the champion with, hee hee, and you go against trainer IE ass. Right? And you can, like, censor things, but, like, they can try to do workarounds, so nicknames don't come up online. Dory, Mega Victory Bell is going to be goated. He's going to have the greatest ability of all time. I mean, like, what are you doing? He's going to have Wonder Guard, and he's going to be, like, the greatest competitive Pokemon all the time. Ready for this? I can't wait for my boy Mega Victory Bell. He's going to be so good. I believe. Thoughts on Ichiran's forehead. Let me look at that in a minute. The competitive Pokemon plays like the 2v2 like battle style. I think they should also have competitive Pokemon like tournaments for like the Pokeathlon from like Heart Gold Soul Silver. Like let's get competitive players up there doing that, and then the bug catching contest against each other. Attack like 35 special attack, great stat spread. Yeah, that's all, he's gonna need to have the nuttiest ability if he wants to be good. Unfortunately, don't worry, they'll give him Wonder Guard surely. Fuck, I drifted. Let's get the fastest Pokemon in the game, Destiny Bond. I mean, you can get really fast Pokemon with Destiny Bond. If you want to, you can run fucking Choice Scarf Gengar with Destiny Bond. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. This is Ichiran forehead. Holy forehead! What is this from? That looks like a Dojin that looks like a questionable Dojin if I've ever seen one. That's chapter of Satori manga? Never mind. Is Mima back, guys? Guys, Mima's gonna be back anytime now, right? Right, guys, Mima's back. He's totally been hinting at it. We're gonna get Mima back, right? Mima's coming for sure. Also, what's Satori manga? Last I checked, Satori's not even in it. She has no lower half, just like Kiba. This must be coincidence. Excuse me. Yep. Guess Mima's coming back any hour now for sure.
Oh, go.
Why did I do that? I'll blame anything and everything again on that fantasy Maiden Wars yesterday taking 5 hours. But regardless, it's still a good day. Good Sanyo's earlier. Frick! I played too aggressive. Not the best line I've ever seen. You can't stop me, because I'm the one playing. If you want to make a better line, you gotta play for yourself. I love attacks that make me feel uncomfortable. The best bug type in competitive. There are bug types that see play. In the last, not the current format, the last format that was used, Scyther won a major tournament. And was seen, I believe, in some other teams after. Volcarona definitely saw a fair bit of play in that format as well. Terrabug Incineroar. The best competitive bug type Pokemon. I'm trying to think. They're not usually good, but that doesn't mean they can't be good. We got top 256. We got Toronto with Illumise. Or Illumise, depending on how you want to pronounce it. That is interesting. In this format? What the fuck? Why? What are they running on that thing? Prankster? I know Prankster, but like there are other prank, like Tornadus exists. Whimsicott exists. What are we doing? What is the set? I want to know what the fucking set is. Did you just wing it? Listen, unironically so based though. Hold up. Encore, Rain Dance, Struggle Bug, Tailwind. That's interesting, but like, as I said, Tornadus does exist. I guess Tornadus doesn't get Encore though, so... But like... Whimsicott... I guess Whimsicott doesn't get Rain Dance though. I don't think. So that's something. That's something, I guess, because it's a less offensive Whimsicott though, right? Because like Whimsicott does have that thing, you can't run it on rain teams because it doesn't get Rain Dance as a Prankster Tailwind user. Most people would use Tornadus though, but if you want it with Encore, then I guess you gotta use Illumise? Illumise, however you want to pronounce it. Golem top 256 as well. I mean, I've seen Alolan Golems in some decent positions before. It's not the craziest thing. Also, Golems, at least, like, raw stats are good. Like, at least has, like, a solid stat spread, unlike Elomize. It's so crazy how people often give competitive poker crap of how streamlined everything is. Only the good things are good. Like it's all the same like Pokemon, but like there's so much diversity up there. It's so cool to see. I love competitive team building. Like even with the same Pokemon, like the differences you can get in Flutter mains is phenomenal. It's actually so crazy how you can run 2 different Flutter mains and they are just completely different Pokemon. Despite the fact that they're both Flutter mains. Okay, Sonny, we'll go like a tiny bit more. We're going to some try. Their turn timers? Yes. There are turn timers. Each player also has a 7-minute total timer for turns. And if you go beyond that 7-minute timer, then you automatically lose the battle. There's a global 20-minute turn timer or 20-minute timer in battles if the battle lasts more than 20 minutes. The battle automatically ends, but again, you also have your own. Turn timer is like 30, it's 30 seconds or like 45 seconds, I forget, per turn. But you also only have a 7-minute personal, 7-minute personal timer. Iron Bull got 65th at Toronto. I mean, it's not terrible. Like it's not bad. It's just not like usually that good, question mark. But hey, love to see it get something. Honestly, it's typing that's weird. Rock Psychic is not the best type, I would argue. Okay, let's move on. Using your favorites. Well, that's the thing. You can. There's a lot of customizability, even if you go outside of that. Like, good Pokemon are good for a reason. You should definitely use some of them, but there is a lot of room for creativity.